And it's certainly my great pleasure to introduce one of the most fascinating people that I have ever met, Rahgava. What can I say about this young man? It's very difficult to describe this self-made young artist who has assumed an impressive persona of being a creative thought leader and an avant-garde artist who has impressed the likes of many, many great celebrities around the world. He has pals like Jeff Bezos, Paul Simon, Oprah Winfrey, and so many more people across the world. And as far as I'm concerned, he's Namma Hudaga from Namma Bengaluru, because he has spent his formative years in this city before shifting base to New York. He is one of the most respected proponents of creative, open-minded art education, and he has chosen to ignite our thinking on a very interesting hypothesis of how technology is changing humans. He's entitled this talk, Humans 6.0, The Fall of Homo Sapiens. And as you can see, it is a very thought-provoking caption, and I'm going to leave it to Rahgava to really tell us what it's all about.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I come from a very typical Tambram family in Bangalore. My dad, one day when I was 7 years old, just casually, while passing me Tair Sadam, he says, "Rahgava, who are you?" I said, "Such a stupid question, Pa. I am Rahgava." He said, "But I named you. If I change your name, will you change in front of me?" I said, "Okay, I'm this person." He said, "Every cell in this person changes every 7 years. Who are you?" My God, we went on and on and on that evening. And that's typical in my house. And I'm sure all of you IIT, IIM people know what that feels like with Resnick and Halliday and what's the name? Piskinov, Irdov. So I was groomed to be a good IITian. Every male member went to IIT. But my father was a little different. He kept asking me existential questions. So what we decided at the end of the day is that everything we think we are either changing or not us. So maybe we are great storytellers. And he asked me, if you're a storyteller, Rahgava, can you live the best story you can tell? And I loved it. I dreamt up stories that I could live. And my entire life has been about stories I could live. So this is a painting of mine that's supposed to be me. When you ask yourself a very simple question, who are you? Or when you think about answering this, usually there are only two ways. We either say we are Muslim or Hindu. We say we are, gay or straight. We can say we are great country, great nation, victors. But they all fall into these two categories, nurture and nature. Now, I have a habit of blaming all my problems on my parents. So that's, that's where the nature comes in. But what happens is these are the only two ways academics, statisticians, governments, education views us. But this is a problem because there is a third way. And for me, that is more important than any other way. It is the transcendent way. It is who I'm going to become. It is who I will be, not who I am and who I have been. It is who I will be. And this requires creativity, imagination, and it requires you to be more than who you are. And this language is missing in the way we look at people, children, and young minds. Now, I loved my education, but I quit it because my father was having his favorite whiskey one day, and I went up to him. I said, "Pa, what is the purpose of education?" He looked at me like I'm mad, and then he said, "Why are you asking me this question?" I said, "What is the purpose? Because you went to IIT, you studied all your life. What is the purpose?" He said, "It's about good citizenship. It's about learning how to learn. It's about being independent emotionally, financially, blah, blah, blah." He gave me a big list. I listened very carefully, went back to him that end of that week, and I said, "Pa, I'm going to be a good boy. I'm going to learn how to learn. I'm going to do all this." And he came to give me a hug. I said, wait, why do I have to go to school if I do all of this? I used the old man's philosophy against him, and I quit school and became a cartoonist. And I started cartooning everybody I could see, because cartoons are full of humor. They let you look at yourself differently. You let go of the past. You can create a new version of yourself. You can laugh at yourself. We don't know how to do that. We South Indians are pathologically emotionally deficient. I said it. There you go. But that is what made me. The curiosity allowed me to leave school and work with neuroscientists. This is the work I did with National Geographic, where I wore these headsets, and you look at a work, and it changes based on what you think of it. And there's one work where this is a beautiful woman, and you think naughty thoughts, and she starts undressing, and everyone knows what you're thinking about her. You have to be careful. We capture your thoughts. But the most important thing is I've been able to collect a group of people. It's my curiosity that's brought curious minds together. This is a conference that I've co-founded, the Inc. Fellows program. It is my curiosities that allowed me to go into the business world, into the creativity world, and work with some of the most creative minds and talk about what is the future of creativity. There's this big guy called AI coming in and taking over creativity. Can he do that? Can she do that? Can it do that? I also work with corporate heads. Today, we are in the creative age. Why is Jeff Bezos painting and getting his legs dirty? It's important to let go. It's important to understand creativity ground up. I think the biggest mistake we make is we think of ourselves as Homo sapiens, because the word sapien means to know. And when you think of yourself as someone who knows, there's a new kid on the block who knows much more, smarter, has got collective knowledge of all of us put together, and can kick our backsides. And we have to change the way we think of ourselves. We are not Homo sapiens. I propose a new kind of person. We are Homo mutans. Mutans means the ability to change. We are transcendent beings. In the core of being human is the ability to transcend yourself. This changes everything. You know that we are the only species that actually changes who we are based on what we know? We are the only species that does that. Take the lion. In 10,000 years, it still remains in its pride, in the same social structure that it created. We, on the other hand, in the last 100 years, have left the family, gone into nuclear families, and we are talking about, Karan Johar was talking about the death of marriage. In fact, divorce rates are so high that even the institution of marriage has got fault lines. God knows what social structures in the future are going to look like. If you go 40 years ago, and you told an advertising person that you have to listen to the way people think, you have to actually listen to word-of-mouth advertising, targeting, they will laugh at you. They'll say, we know what people are, we've analyzed them, and we will give them what they want. Everything is getting turned on its head. In fact, our bookstores have disappeared, travel agencies have disappeared, and every industry is being disrupted. Even capitalism, 500 years ago we had the feudal system. We have to ask ourselves at every stage, is this natural and is this biological? Is capitalism so natural? Is it biological? Because that's what we thought feudal system was a few years ago. The question is, it's okay to not think about these things when we are in a stable state. Today, we're not in a stable state. Rapid changes. And in a place when everything is changing so much, I think it's really not advisable to think of ourselves as the people who know. We are the people who can keep pace and change and reinvent ourselves. So instead of bothering about who we are, we need to start dreaming about who we can be. And that's where artists come into the place. Everyone needs to work with an artist because we have two massive elephants in the room: artificial intelligence and climate change. And we need to look them in the eye and not get scared of them. My brother and I, he is a Harvard professor, an econometrics professor. Both of us quit. I'm an artist. We both have moved back to India to start 64-1. It is an organization, and our vision is very simple. How do we get artists, technologists, and scientists together to imagine what the world of the Homo mutans is going to look like? How can we face the future? In fact, This is a model we have proposed first on what are the 6 key changes that have changed fundamentally who we are. Maybe if we have time later, if you're interested, I can take you through those key changes. But these have fundamentally changed who we are. Our first project is a pioneering project out of India. We are trying to see what is the future of art. Where does creativity lie? The ultimate purpose of man, to be creative. Can that be disrupted? Can creativity lie in a machine, in algorithms? Where in your brain does it lie? This is a show on the 17th of August where 7 countries, 7 pioneering artists are coming to India to launch AI as art. It'll be the first time such an endeavor has happened in the entire world. But what's most exciting for me is that we're not scared of AI. We're not scared of climate change. Instead, actually, I'm going to tell you something personal which I didn't intend to. Change is very difficult. I have been married now for 10 years, and I have been together with my wife for 17 years. Last year, after 4 children, she calls me one day and she says, have we ever asked what this Rahgava wants from life and what this Netra wants from life? Maybe it's not what we wanted when we were 18 years old. I got a heart attack. I said, what? What are you saying? She's like, no, we just need to ask ourselves who we are now and where we want to go. It has been a very rough 1 year because we are suddenly being children, asking ourselves the toughest question, who do we want to be? And we've been bold enough, and it has really reinvented our entire family. And we've been excited, and we're taking the next phase on. I want to leave you with one thought. We are not scared of change. We are not scared of the future. We refuse to accept, politics of identity. The identity, we can sit and argue. Is it being gay, nurture, nature, nurture, nature? We can argue about white skin, gray skin, blue skin, red skin. It does not matter. We have AI and we have climate change. Where are we going to be? Who are we going to be? After all, we are Homo mutans. Thank you so much.